Hello, I'm Full Paragon, and this is your guide to Orc Arena for May 2022 in Konosuba Fantastic Days. Aside from the typical death by snoo snoo that you always have to worry about with the Orc, what you're really going to be concerned about this time is she's going to focus her attacks front, similar to how it works in EX Arena, so that the first adventurer on your team will take the brunt of the damage. Damage cut is still broken at the time that I am making this, which is a serious problem here, as this arena you really need to be mitigating all the damage that's coming in to that front character. I have a few workarounds we can try, but really, this is going to be harder than it needs to be because of those broken mechanics. For the waves, there are 2 and then 3 beefy minions, so you're going to need to bring some AoE to take them down quickly. The Orc is weak to physical attacks, which means it's time for eyes to shine. This boss both looks and hits like a truck, so be prepared to either get isekai'd or bring some healing. Turn 4, she will do a serious damage up on herself, so be prepared with an agility down so you can delay her attack before she's able to use the buff. She deals both magical and physical damage, and that's it. There's no other special mechanics aside from her focusing the front unit. Alright, let's talk about the physical team first, featuring eyes. You'll note that I put Cafe Megumin up front. This is because she has an agility down. This is key to allowing her to take one hit from the boss, use her agility down ability, and then blow up and bring in a tank. By then, you'll have enough time for Chris's ultimate to charge, allowing you to slow the boss down once Megumin's slow wears off, and you'll have less damage that the boss is able to deal. This is a pseudo workaround for damage cut not working. We're basically going to be reducing our damage by reducing the number of attacks that the boss can do. The other key characters in this team are, of course, original Chris. Make sure you use the first version of her super, not the second. Normally in Wind Arena, that second super is going to be awesome, but right here and now, we really need to focus on mitigating some damage, so first version with the agility down it is. The key to this team is, of course, eyes. She has everything that you need. She's got a tier 3 agility up for herself. She's got a 10% gauge charge for the team. She hits quite hard. Her ult is wind-based, and it provides a tier 3 damage attack buff. So everything you want. Mitsurugi is going to swap in for Megumin and take the majority of the hits for your team. The most healing your team is going to get is going to be from him and his ultimate, which provides a pretty decent chunk of healing. He's also fairly damage resistant, but you really need to both raise his affinity and be using his personal weapon to get the most mileage. In the last slot, it's pretty much a flex slot. I put Kenpo Erika there as I think she's probably the best choice, but you could go for someone like Rin or Onsen Megumin, anybody who's going to be able to come in and do quite a bit of damage at the last second once another member of your team falls. There aren't any really good substitutes in this team right now. You really have to have Chris, you really have to have Eyes, and you really have to have Mitsurugi. Fortunately, Mitsurugi is welfare, and Chris has been around since the start of the game, so I think quite a few players will have her, and if you don't have Eyes, make sure you get her before this collab ends, because she's going to stay powerful for a very long time. Now, even though Eyes is the new hotness, that doesn't mean that mages have been totally obsoleted. Rin is still a force to be reckoned with in Wind, and, backed up by the standard Christmas Wiz and ReZero Megumin core, the team can do quite well for itself. Note that in this team, you'll want to make sure that Christmas Wiz is up front to tank the majority of the damage, as her self-heal will mostly get you through this. You will also want to make sure that you're using Welfare Rin, not 4-star Rin. This is because Welfare Rin has an agility down as well as an attack debuff, which allows her to control the boss and keep your team alive. Onsen Yunyun is still the best one to have, coming in once Megumin blows herself up, and for some last second healing as well as an agility buff, Cafe Cecily is going to be your best bet. Other choices for this team would be Wind Aru and CeeLo. If you're struggling to stay alive, original CeeLo provides more healing and defense than Cecily does, although she does also offer much less DPS. And now for some welfare recommendations, featuring, of course, Bell. You're going to want to run Mitsurugi in the first slot here. He's just generally speaking the best tank, and he offers the best survivability thanks to his 1.5 ult. However, Bell is pretty great here. You can use him combined with Cecily to keep your team topped off and deal more damage to the boss. I will give you the caveat that Kenpo Cecily is just not very good, and overall this team is really going to struggle. If you can replace someone with eyes here, you're going to do a whole lot better. Overall, these welfare picks just don't match up to the 4 stars. Everything from Welfare Erica just not being as good as Kenpo Erica, to Crimson Demon Aru just not being as good as Onsen Union. But this team should be able to do at least decently. Try and get some upgrades if you can, and seriously, roll for eyes. She's going to be relevant for a long time. That's the video. Thanks for watching. There will, of course, be a stream on Monday, although I'm going to be doing it a little bit earlier this time, right at reset, as now that it's summertime, I have a little bit more free time and will be able to do streams a little bit earlier in the day. See you then.